Hey, it's Dave here, the 24-hour marketer, and I'm making this video in South Africa in a little town called Pinetown. And I want to talk to you about helping other people. And we talk about this a lot and we throw it around tremendously because we ultimately have this, the sayings like we hear from Zig Ziglar: if you help somebody to succeed, that's how you're going to succeed. And that is very true. But I want to talk to you about something a little bit different, not altogether different, but something that I believe will help you with regards to helping people around you. And that is, sometimes we can be so caught up in the area of succeeding that we tend to think, you know what, if we just help people inside of our business, it's going to help us to succeed. And yes, that may be true, but I wanted to stretch you a bit. I wanted to tell you guys that I have a different philosophy where I think that this actually might help with this and make it a lot easier to help you. And I'm going to challenge you because I believe that this very action, the one I'm going to be talking to you about, is going to help us to help people better. All right? And this is the idea of giving without receiving. This is the idea of being able to help somebody in need without giving any second thought to yourself. And there are a lot of people out there that will give on the condition that they get recognized. And this gets seen in a lot of companies when they say, we'll donate so-and-so money to another organization. But as long as we get a little bit of the advertisement. Now, there's nothing wrong with that per se. I suppose it is good for advertising, and that is great because people do get help that way, especially with charities. But I'm talking about helping individuals without getting noticed. And what I mean is, there are sometimes companies that arrange certain things that say, you know what, if you buy a certain item, would you like to be able to give a donation to a charity of some sort? All right, and they give you the option of saying, would you like to? And they give you this option saying, if you click here, you'll be given like a couple of bucks to charity. Would you like that option? And a lot of people might say yes or no, but I'm pretty certain a lot of people just say no thanks and they just want the item. Well, I want to encourage you to start stretching yourself a little bit. What I mean is, try and think of other ways that you can help people. So for instance, if you have a friend that needs some sort of help financially, and you know that they're battling because they can't afford something, I want to encourage you to help that person. All right. I remember years ago when, this was like over 10 years ago, when I wanted to do a particular course and it was going to cost me quite a bit of money. And I'll never forget the generosity of my friend who said, you know what, Dave, I really want to help you and I want to give you this money for that course, and I don't want you to think you owe me anything. I just want to be able to help you and want you to accept that. And a lot of us suffer from this thing called pride when we don't want to accept money from others, and we think for some reason that that's the right thing to do. But sometimes we have to let go and say, you know what, I want to accept your help, and I want to serve you by helping me. And that's what I feel that we need to start doing. We need to start being a little bit different. And I feel that the way that we're going to get into the habit of helping people, even in our business, is by helping other people without getting anything back. So maybe you're going out to the market or to the mall and you can see somebody that's really battling. Maybe they don't have any food, and you can go out and get something for them to eat, or give them a little bit of money so they can get through that day. And I know a lot of us are thinking, a lot of people take their money and they spend it on booze and drugs. But at the end of the day, it's not your position to judge anybody, right? It is a judgment call, and of course you can make that judgment. There's nothing wrong with that. But when we start doing little things like being able to help somebody in need, somebody who we care about, or even somebody that we don't even know particularly well. I was sitting in my church the other day and I was thinking, it would really be a great thing for me to contribute to somebody else's camping expenses. There was a camp going on, and I thought, why don't I just give some money so that you know, uh, a child can go on a camp because their parents couldn't afford it. I'm in a position to help. Why don't I do that and just be able to do it anonymously and say, look, I really want to help, and not being able to get any recognition for myself. I'm talking about things like that. I'm talking about being able to really give somebody a sense of help, somebody that you can help push forward. Because I do believe that if we start thinking like that, if we start being able to give without being prejudiced towards anything we see that we can help, is something that's going to help us. Because it does two things. The first thing it does is it helps somebody else, which is obviously the most important thing. Alright, so it really does. I mean, that's the ultimate reason why you want to do this. You want to be able to help somebody in need. Whatever the case is, give to charity, help in a cause, volunteer for something in a soup kitchen, maybe do something that you would not normally do. Get yourself out of the comfort zone of not doing that. Alright? The other thing it does is it helps you as an individual, because you start to see things a little bit different. When you give to a cause of any sort, you have a sense of gratitude. And what I mean by that is you cannot give without feeling some sort of gratitude. It's impossible. If you just take the very action of giving somebody money, if you just gave somebody $1,000 and say, here's $1,000, I want to give this to you without any reservation for yourself, there is no way that you can give anybody anything without feeling a sense of gratitude, without feeling you have provided somebody with something. Puts a smile on your face, and the more we do that, the more it's going to help us individually with other people. It's going to help us to be more generous. It's going to help us to see things a little differently. It's going to help take the focus off us and shift the focus on other people. The moment we can start shifting our focus on other people, I do believe that that is going to help us in our business and in our personal life. Because what it's going to do for us is it's going to help us see things with different glasses on. It's going to help us realize that, it isn't just about giving. It isn't just about receiving stuff. It's about giving. Because the moment we start giving, the moment we start contributing to society, to our friends and to our family and to strangers, it makes us think in a different way. It helps us think, I'm not the center of the universe. There are people around me that need my help. And when we start seeing things like that, it really starts to take a different perspective. I was just watching the other day about a guy who, had his entire factory burned down. It was some food making place, and all of his employees were without a job for a couple of months. And this particular guy, he didn't want anyone to know about it. It came out eventually in the news because I don't think he could have stopped it if he wanted to. But he, out of his own pocket, was starting to give his employees their salaries despite the fact that they weren't working because they had no money. And the irony about it is that even though he didn't want anyone to know about it, it came out eventually, and people saw what type of person he was. And I'm fairly certain it wasn't about him getting recognized. Alright, the whole idea behind giving to other people is because it helps you as an individual shift the focus on yourself and start to see that other people are in need. And that really touched me. I'm starting to notice some things because of my business when I speak to people. I know this lady that works 6 days a week. She gets paid less than $10 a day to feed her family, and she doesn't complain. She doesn't ask for anything. She just works every single day for 6 days a week, and she takes Sunday off. And every day she goes to work, it takes her like maybe 4 or 5 hours just to get to work, and then it takes her the same amount of time to get back home. But she works the day that she can and to provide for her family, and I just think that's incredible. She makes such a sacrifice for her family, and she doesn't get thanked by it. She doesn't get thanked by it. And I'm looking at that thinking, how is it that I can help that situation? How can I make a difference in that person's life to make it a bit easier? And I do believe I do believe it has a lot to do with the fact that I'm working with so many generous people in my business, so many people that really want to help without any reservation towards themselves. It's kind of rubbing off of me. I know my sponsor, Ryan Maynard, is one of the most generous people I know. He helps, and he helps despite himself. He really does want to see other people succeed. And that means a lot to me because he helped me tremendously. And I'll never forget it. I'll never forget the type of generosity that he's had towards me. And I just want to say to everybody watching this, and for those of you who are in my group or in my team, I really do appreciate every single one of you. I know that a lot of you really do want to help other people. And that's something that we practice time and time again. But I do believe that if we're going to make a huge impact, we need to start making it not just about our business, but also about our personal life and the people that are around us. Because when we can start to help people around us, I do believe it's going to rub on everything that we do. So with that being said, I hope that's helped somebody. I hope that's given somebody a bit of perspective. And if it does help you, I really thank you for listening. Please give me your comments. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on this. And if you, what do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'd really like to know your thoughts. And with that being said, watch out for the next video. I'll be making it in a few days. But you have a great day, and I'll chat to you soon. Cheers.